Today our topic is how to master the art of self-control. Self-control is one of the most important skills you can develop in life. It is the ability to manage your emotions, thoughts, and actions in a way that aligns with your long-term goals, even when faced with distractions or temptations. Mastering self-control is not easy, but it is possible, and it can change your life in profound ways. Let me explain why self-control matters so much, and how you can build it step by step. First, let's talk about why self-control is so important. Imagine you have a big goal, like getting healthier, saving money, or learning a new skill. To achieve these goals, you need to make consistent choices that support them. For example, if you want to get healthier, you need to resist the temptation to eat junk food and stick to a workout routine. If you want to save money, you need to avoid impulsive purchases and focus on your budget. Without self-control, it's easy to give in to short-term pleasures, even if they hurt your long-term success. Self-control is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be in the future. It's what helps you stay focused and disciplined, even when things get tough. Now, let's talk about how to build self-control. The first step is to understand that self-control is like a muscle. Just like you can strengthen your body by exercising, you can strengthen your self-control by practicing it regularly. But also, just like a muscle, self-control can get tired if you overuse it. This is called ego depletion. For example, if you spend all day resisting temptations, by the end of the day you might find it harder to say no to a piece of cake or skip a workout. That's why it's important to use your self-control wisely and not waste it on things that don't matter. Focus on the areas of your life where self-control will have the biggest impact, like your health, finances, or relationships. One of the best ways to build self-control is to start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Instead, pick one habit or behavior you want to improve and focus on that. For example, if you want to stop procrastinating, start by committing to work on a task for just 10 minutes a day. Once you've mastered that, you can gradually increase the time. Small wins will build your confidence and make it easier to tackle bigger challenges. Another helpful strategy is to remove temptations from your environment. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. If you're trying to save money, unsubscribe from marketing emails that make you want to shop. By making it harder to give in to temptation, you'll make it easier to practice self-control. Another key to mastering self-control is to understand your triggers. Triggers are the situations, emotions, or thoughts that make you lose control. For example, you might notice that you're more likely to eat unhealthy food when you're stressed, or that you spend too much money when you're bored. Once you identify your triggers, you can come up with a plan to deal with them. For example, if stress makes you eat junk food, you could try deep breathing or going for a walk instead. If boredom makes you overspend, you could find a free hobby to keep yourself occupied. The more you understand your triggers, the better you'll be at managing them. It's also important to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to stay present and aware of what's happening in the moment. When you're mindful, you're less likely to act on impulse because you're paying attention to your thoughts and feelings instead of letting them control you. For example, if you're tempted to check your phone while working, mindfulness can help you notice that urge without giving in to it. You can practice mindfulness by taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Over time, this will help you become more aware of your impulses and give you the space to choose how you respond. Another powerful tool for building self-control is visualization. Visualization is when you imagine yourself succeeding at something before you actually do it. For example, if you're trying to resist the temptation to eat dessert, you could visualize yourself saying no and feeling proud of your decision. Visualization works because it helps you mentally prepare for challenging situations. When you have already imagined yourself succeeding, it's easier to follow through in real life. You can also use visualization to remind yourself of your long-term goals. For example, if you're tempted to skip a workout, you could visualize yourself achieving your fitness goals and how good it will feel to reach them. Another important aspect of self-control is learning to delay gratification. Delaying gratification means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. For example, instead of spending money on something you want right now, you could save it for something bigger in the future. This skill is so important that researchers have found it's linked to success in many areas of life, from school to work to relationships. One way to practice delaying gratification is to set small challenges for yourself. For example, you could challenge yourself to wait 10 minutes before eating a snack, or to save a small amount of money each week. Over time, these small challenges will help you build the habit of choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. It's also important to be kind to yourself when you slip up. No one is perfect, and everyone struggles with self-control sometimes. If you give in to temptation, don't beat yourself up about it. Instead, think about what you can learn from the experience. What triggered you? What could you do differently next time? By treating setbacks as opportunities to learn, you will be more likely to bounce back and keep moving forward. Remember, self-control is a skill that takes time to develop, and every small step you take is progress. Finally, let's talk about the connection between self-control and happiness. Many people think that self-control means denying yourself pleasure, but that's not true. In fact, self-control is one of the keys to true happiness. When you have self-control, you're able to make choices that align with your values and goals, which leads to a sense of purpose and fulfillment. For example, if you value your health, exercising self-control by eating well and staying active will make you feel good about yourself. If you value your relationships, exercising self-control by being patient and kind will help you build stronger connections with others. Self-control isn't about depriving yourself. It's about creating a life that brings you joy and satisfaction. In conclusion, mastering the art of self-control is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself. It takes time, effort, and practice, but the rewards are worth it. By starting small, understanding your triggers, practicing mindfulness, visualizing success, delaying gratification, and being kind to yourself, you can build the self-control you need to achieve your goals and live a happier, more fulfilling life. Remember, self-control is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Every small step you take toward better self-control is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. So start today and don't give up. You have the power to master the art of self-control, and it can change your life in ways you never imagined.